Well, this is one you haven't seen. A Filterqueen limited edition Majestic. I've forgotten what the model number is actually. Let's have a wee peek. It's a model 231 UK. Yeah, this was on Gumtree for, I think this was at 30 quid, and I thought, do you know what, quite fancy that. Because never had a Filterqueen of my own. Fellow collector Kevin has one identical, but his is branded some kind of anniversary. I think it's like a 70th anniversary one or something. But I think it is the same machine largely. I don't remember his having a switch on the hose for the power head or not. But yeah, and I thought, I was really impressed with his, so I thought I'll get that for myself. So I think it has everything in very good order. I'll have a look in here first. Now, I actually went and got some, what is it they call them, the wee cones. These are just generic ones, as you can see, and it also came with two of these new filters. I put one in, and I also, for some reason, felt the need to keep the original one that I took out. So there it is, in case you're interested. They are quite different. The original one's very thin, whereas this has actually got a wee bit of thickness to it. But I think all it's meant to do is catch any little bits that the cone might miss. Because this is all it has, is one of these paper cones in it. I'll show you the one. It's just had a new one in it. I've had it about 10 days. I used it every day for a week. And then decided the cone that came with it, although genuine and new, was a bit stained and minging. So I thought, right, new cone. I've given it a wee clean inside. And yeah, I thought I'll film it while it's emptied, because it picks up quite a lot. Instructions, nobody's really bothered about them. This, which I had to read the instructions to find out what it was, I saw the photo and thought that's some kind of quirky crevice tool. Nope, it's an attachment that, get this is a right laugh, screws in the top. You see it will go in there, and it's designed to circulate air around your room. So I take it you're just meant to leave the Hoover running for a bit and Hoover all the air. I don't know. That sounds like a gimmick. While we're here, there's a little diffusery thing which I have washed underneath this blower port cover. Very good blower actually. I used it this morning. I was cleaning out some cordless Hoovers. It's very powerful. All the details here are as follows: 800 watts. Not bad, made in America, obviously. I think this is the cylinder equivalent of a Kirby, really, because it's slightly uncommon, very expensive when it was new. Apparently, according to the seller anyway, their mum paid like £1,000 for it or something. I can't see it being as much as that, but you know what I mean. I think cylinder version of a Kirby. I would have it over a Kirby any day. It's much easier to use. Yeah, it's got all the 4 tools on the top, which are all well made. Have a little springy tip on them. Dusting brush is very nice. It's got nice soft brushes, nice and big. The only thing is this has got some, it's not as much suction, I think it's airflow as well. It makes this almost impossible to use because it just sticks to whatever you're trying to dust. So actually I use that for dusting sometimes. That's the upholstery cum stair tool, which the brush does slide off of. I don't know if you can hear the rain, it's just started hammering it. There you go, brush comes off. Sort of like a pneumatic one, but a bit more in it than a pneumatic one. Oh, try to put it on the wrong way. Camera looks a bit blurry today, isn't it? There we go. And then it's got the hard floor tool, which is slightly pants. As far as hard floor tools go, it's good. It's just a bit small. Is that focusing? That looks better. If I give you a wee comparison. It doesn't look much narrower than the power head, but it is narrower, and it doesn't pick up brilliantly. I think it's maybe because it's just got brushes. Maybe our wheels would help it glide and pick stuff up. I don't know. Obviously the tool holder just comes off if you push that. This looks like it's really not focusing. That's better. This comes off, but it'll show up here minging it in the actual Hoover as I've not cleaned it yet. And also we have the hose, which is just long enough. It could do maybe being slightly longer, but okay. Little switch there, and obviously the wee button that the pip on the tools goes into. We'll take that off. Oh, show you the power head. It's obviously got the pole, just one single pole with the wee connectors in it. Now the only fault I've had with it is once or twice while using it, the power head has cut off for like 0.1 seconds and restarted. And I think one of these, I think this one's okay. It's maybe the one that goes in the top of the handle is quite loose, and I think maybe if you catch it, it comes out and basically cuts off for a second. So yeah, it's all nice and in good order here. Brushes seem to have life in them. I think you can adjust them. I think it's like a Kirby power head. You can, not Kirby power head, a Kirby brush wheel. You can turn it up and down inside. You can also see the belt, which could do with being changed. I did check it. It is perishing a little bit, but it's got enough tension in it. It doesn't do the whole slidey thing. Yeah, a very good power head actually. It does a good job. Obviously, I don't really know if it'll do this rug or not. I've not been using it up here. But yeah, very good. I don't know if it's meant to stand up or not, because when you stand it up, it does click. But then if you put the pole on it like that, you know, you can see it's already leaning. The slightest thing will just kind of, yeah, I don't know. Let's move the hose. It's quite a hefty hose. Main Hoover. Yeah, not a great deal to show you. It has an on-off switch, which those are always handy. These clips hold the bottom wheel, like tray thing, to the bucket, which holds the top on. So this is a brand new but generic cone. Oh, I must have found that from somewhere. And then I actually gave this a little wash out. Obviously it's obviously found some dust from somewhere. I took this seal off and gave it a clean. So it's had a clean inside, but not had a clean or polish on the outside, and it does desperately need it, so we need to do that. Yeah, that looks alright. Obviously under this housing is the wee pre-filter, but you've got to unscrew a kind of bolt and it's a hassle, so we won't bother. There we go. Clip that back in. Runs very nicely, and actually when you turn it on, I noticed a slight whiff of burning and quite a lot of sparking if you looked in there when you switch it on. So I thought, perfect timing. Who's wanting ice cream when it's actually bucketing out with rain? I don't think many are going to go out. Anyway, I smelt a bit of burning, so I've actually had it apart quickly. The brushes are fine, motor looks good, so you know it's all good. But anyway, makes a heck of a racket when you've not got the hose on. Might pop the hose on first before we. And that's the top, which I can't get. Oh, there we are. I was doing it the wrong way. Let's chuck the wee cable in. That's better. Runs very nicely. Sounds like a nice kind of motor as well. It's not whiny. Chuck this wee plug in so that the power head will go. I'm going to just throw you on the floor for a minute. It needs two hands. There we go. There's one, and then there's two. Lovely. Jubbly. You just have to click that in on the back. There we go. Right, so I don't know what setting I'll need the height adjuster on. It's currently on the highest. Maybe we'll turn it down one and see if that's okay for this carpet. It's starting to go a bit ratty anyway, so it doesn't matter if I grind it into crumbs. Alright, let's give it a go. The power head's quite noisy. I'd say noisier than the Hoover. Yep, you need it on the highest setting. It's easy enough to push, it's just that it's caught in my phone cable. Yeah. Let's try and put the hard floor brush on with one hand. That can turn the Hoover off. Don't need to leave that running. And you can see see what the hard floor brush is like. My only concern is all the tugging you have to do on these cables to get them in and out. Is that surely going to break them over time? And it's lasted this long. Apparently it's like 20 years old. I don't know the faintest thing about Filterqueen, so if anyone does, feel free to get commenting. Right, hard floor brush. And you can do it with one hand just about. You just need a foot as well to... There you go. Try this. Glides nicely enough on the hard floor. I've probably got some Henry's even dusted as well. Hoover's sitting here gathering dust. That one's used a bit more than the other ones are. Yeah, well, it doesn't look very nice now that it's strewn across the floor. But yeah, it's a very good machine to use actually. It's effective. I think any of them are powerheads. Us UK collectors get a bit crazy about, because we don't get many power heads. But anyway, thank you for watching, and anyone who has information on Filterqueens that I need to know, please comment. So yeah, thanks for watching.